I'm Ione Butler, and I'm the founder of Uplifting Content. Today, I am speaking to the lovely Orion Talmay. I can hear myself echoing. It takes a couple of seconds for people. Sorry about that, everybody. But Orion, how are you today, my love?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, my pleasure.
I'm so honored.
Yeah, oh, my pleasure. It was so lovely. We met at a Donny Epstein event last year. I interviewed Donny on last week's episode for anyone who had a chance to check out that. And then we also saw each other at Date with Destiny, Tony Robbins' Date with Destiny, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're just have that love and passion for things, same type of things. So I'm fascinated by what you do because there's a lot that's going on and you're so immersed in this world of personal development and helping others and all sorts of great stuff. So I'd love for you just to start by introducing you, maybe share your story and talk a little bit about the work that you do.
Sure. So my name is Orion, and what it is, I help women awaken their inner goddess so they can stop looking for love in all the wrong places and attract their soulmate. I help women connect to that part of them that feels sexy and juicy and alive.
Oh, yeah.
And I help them heal the past, feel the present, and look for a more beautiful, better future. So they keep high standards for themselves and for their future relationship.
I like it. I definitely feel like I need some of that. So I'm looking forward to getting into this. Got a comment from Oleo saying, I think it's great for women empowerment, but what about men? Don't you worry, Oleo. We'll get to you in a second.
Oh yeah, you know that when women are empowered, you benefit. When a woman feels so much more happy about herself, when she feels confident, she's a better partner to you. And then she makes you feel more loved and cared for, more like you're her superhero.
Right. Yeah, I definitely can see that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you've seen any of my videos, Orion, my Find Ione a Boyfriend video or anything like that. Have you had a chance to see it?
I saw a few, yeah. I love
Okay,
it.
cool. So I'm curious. I'm in this sort of space, looking for a partner. Which I don't know whether it's a bad thing to be looking for a partner. Not that I'm like out every day searching, but just I guess being more open to it. So we're just when you work with people, would love to hear about kind of what you do, and then maybe if you can offer myself some advice, and also anyone that's on the call that has questions about relationships, how you're feeling, what's going on with you, that you think that you want to ask Orion or myself, even ask away. And Oleo, if you have specific questions, ask us, and then we can kind of happily touch on those things. So what would you advise for me to get more in touch with my feminine power?
Right. So you were talking about the space, being in that space in between. I don't see it as a bad thing. This is just I see it as time for you to be more you, to find more inner love until that person shows up.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think that it's about finding the man. You have to wear the right things, go to the right places, say the right things, text the right things, and it's all good. But this is, I think, just the 20% of it, and 80% is the beingness, is the person that you are being, and that's true for business and relationship. Who are you being who do you want to become in order to attract that dream person? So my story started in I experienced a very painful relationship. I got into depression, and then I did everything that I could to find myself. I traveled over 34 countries. I studied with the greatest leaders and luminaries. I am still a seminar junkie. I go to seminars every day, every month.
Mm-hmm.
Not every day.
That would be a real junkie.
That would be too much. and I study a lot, but it wasn't until I learned about my feminine magnetism, about that part of me that is goddess-like, that is willing to receive, is willing to heal, is willing to receive, is willing to allow a masculine presence in my life, that I attracted it. Because after I was hurt, the question that ran my life was, how can I not get hurt? So I had feminine exterior, but I would go into any relationship with this like more of a masculine energy,
Mm.
more guarded, more logical, more like this. Like you can see it in my body. I'm like, it's very it's very
Mm.
like, it's very tough, it's very strong, it's very dominant, focus driven. And I would self-sabotage every relationship because in order to not get hurt, I had to prove that I'm better than them. And if at some point I even emasculated my man, because just to prove that I'm strong enough. But that was just a facade because I was so afraid of getting physically and emotionally hurt again.
Mm-hmm.
um, so I went with that energy. Now that energy helped me in my healing stage, just to claim my power, but eventually it created a shield,
Yeah.
and that was good to protect me at that time. But it's almost like, uh, after a while, it's like, it's a beautiful, imagine a beautiful sunny beach and everything is like nice and peaceful, and I'm still wearing that armor.
Yeah.
It's not the right thing to do. So I had to like learn how to connect to my vulnerability, learn how to feel more okay with opening up, and feel more okay with allowing the love in and surrendering to my higher power, rather than pushing in order to go get the man and kind of like hunt him. Because
Yeah. Men
men,
don't like to be hunted.
yeah, they like to hunt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Part of their DNA.
yeah.
And there is a way to allure a man in, but it's more of a, it's it's like alluring. When you allure a man with your beingness, with your smile, with your flirt, and allow him to come to you, it creates the dynamic in the relationship. Because from the get-go, from the beginning, from the first moment, he understands that he's stepping into his masculine, he's moving forward toward you, he's your protector, he's the one who's going to hold you. And it's a tough dynamic, especially for women, um, women like us that are very independent, that have big dreams and big aspiration, and we need our masculine energy in order to move forward, to feel driven,
Mm.
to what you're doing with uplifting content. That takes a lot of time and effort and organization and logic and a lot of masculine trait. And what I teach my ladies is not to get rid, like, all these masculine traits are amazing, they're good for you, and it's about becoming more. So you have your masculine trait, but also your feminine traits, without losing your feminine, and finding kind of like a dance in between.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because most entrepreneurs, many entrepreneurs, women, they forgot their feminine part, that part that is flow and ease
Mm-hmm.
and childlike and play and receiving and messy.
That's yeah, and that's definitely something that Donnie Epstein, who we met at a Donnie Epstein event, has said to me a number of times. Connect to your divine feminine. That's where your power is. And
I
so,
love
you
Donnie.
know, yeah, he's an amazing human, and I'm still sort of trying to get my head around that and how that will work. So it's great to be having this conversation with you, and I'm going to
Mm.
pinpoint some more things in a second. So just reading some comments. Ben's on the call. Hey Ben. Hey Simone. Lovely to see you. Who else is here, and who else has any questions for Orion? Aliyah says, "What can men do to find their inner God if there is such a thing?"
Oh, I love that. Um, so when I think about feminine, like, let's think about the physical aspect of connecting to that. Uh, for a woman, it's going to be feminine movement. I studied with Sheila Kelly. She's the founder of S Factor.
I know Sheila Kelly. Yeah,
Yeah, I love
yeah.
her, and she brought pole dancing into mainstream. And um, And I went and I took some pole dancing classes to connect to my S curve, to connect to my
Mm.
femininity. Because when you go to the gym, it's very, it's like an H. All
Mm.
the movements are more for men, where women, we move more in curvy ways. So for the women, I would say go and study those feminine arts, belly dancing, pole dancing, free dance, anything that connects you to that energy. And for the men, go to the gym, do martial arts. If a man is more in contact with his feminine energy, then it will be good for him to physically strengthen himself, because our mind and body, they're aligned. And for a woman, when her body is loose, her mind is more loose, is more receptive. And for a man, when he's owning that at the gym, he's pushing metal, he's feeling stronger, he does martial arts or anything that I don't know, tough mudder, whatever, which I did both. I did in the past, I did martial arts, I did MMA, I did Aikido, I did the tough mudder, I did all those. I lifted weights like the guys,
Mm-hmm.
but also had to connect to my femininity. So yoga, pole dancing, dancing, belly dancing, all that. So I can learn to be strong in both. Um,
So how do we find that balance then? If we're doing both, and what does that look like? Because I'm still trying to get my head around feminine and masculine energies. And like, yeah, I run businesses. I'm a go-getter type of person. Um, I don't know how to be like I'm still confused by how to be feminine and then still go and make all the things happen that I make happen without that kind of drive. And then you're saying about the type of exercising and thing. It's like, is it fair to say it's not? How do we find the balance?
there is no balance. That's why I
Okay.
call it a dance and not a balance.
Okay.
Even a balance is it's a masculine perspective. There is a
Mm-hmm.
balance. It's a balance between this and this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, you what happened to me is I went from like totally like masculine, like I would enter the room like that. So I was like, oh my God, I have to connect to my femininity. So I went and I did all these things to connect myself to my femininity. And eventually I felt like something was lost. I'm like, okay, this is really cool and fun. And I'm like, I'm loose and happy, but I'm like, where is my drive? Where is my kick-ass personality? Where is it? I don't want to lose it. And so I learned that it's not either or, it's about embracing both. So if as a business owner, you probably have been living mostly in the masculine energy in order to create uplifting content, lift the world. You have the world on your shoulder. You want to uplift the world. We want to do so much in the world. So you're focusing on that. And the feminine is about taking a step into treating yourself and defining what being a woman means to you. And as a woman, how do you want to be love and receive love? It's
Okay.
very different for every woman.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a whole journey of exploration,
Mm-hmm.
and it starts with intention. It's like, I want to connect to my feminine. You already have the intention. How can I do it? Okay, let me talk to Orion. Let me go and do some belly dancing, because you're a seeker. You love to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And so you take it and you kind of like taste. You have to taste what feminine means to you by conversations and physical exploration, and then you take it into real life and you learn how to integrate it. You learn how to integrate it, because like right now, you can be all in your feminine energy. You're doing a live video, you have the Wirecast, whatever you're using, you're running a team. That takes some focus and concentration that is of the masculine. But in the way you relate to me, you are very like, you're in your listening, you're
Mm.
very connected, you're very present, which is more of a feminine energy. So you are already doing it. It's just a matter of learning more about the feminine and bringing her into what you're already doing.
I can 100% relate to that. And I think with dates recently too, I definitely think that I can allow some feminine energy in dates. Because like, guys, I don't think I'm giving off a very feminine thing. I'll always offer to pay. I'll always like buy a round of drinks. If they buy food, I'll buy the next thing. Like it's very it's very much like I got this. And it's not that it's not like I'm trying to be a man. It's I don't like people to feel I'm taking advantage. But in this country, it can kind of come off as a little bit emasculating when I've got it. And so I get it. I think it's just about paying a bit more attention and connecting to that energy a little bit more and being okay.
Yeah, Tony Robbins was telling a story about him having a lunch with a billionaire, and he had that lunch with a billionaire, and he came to pay the bill, and the billionaire said to him, "Are you gonna deny from me the pleasure of paying for your meal?" So when you do it, so men want to feel like they are your person, like they can take care of you. They want to impress you. And then when you take it from them, it's almost like, oh, okay, I can't really do it with you because...
And here's the thing, though, it's a fine line because I don't like to also feel like I'm taking, like, I get it. And I'm definitely, if somebody's offering or if somebody asks me out, I'll always offer. And I'm not going to be like, no, I don't fight it. But I am a little bit forcey, I'm not going to lie. It's just not wanting to, not feeling like I'm taking advantage of somebody.
I mean, how is it taking advantage if that person is like enjoying your beautiful company and your wisdom and your beautiful light, and he just want to show you how much he appreciates you?
Yeah. I guess because you say that though, and then we go to countries like Sweden where everything is like you just split the bill, or where they say go Dutch or whatever. And I think it's just a cultural thing. And I think the US is very different to the UK. And so I'm still kind of getting in that thing of like, how do I feel about it? But I can definitely be more open to it.
And for everybody, it's different. It depends on what type of relationship dynamic you want to have. Mostly in a relationship, the thing that creates the magnetism is polarity, where one is, and this can be in a gay relationship and in a straight relationship, where one takes this like more dominant role and the other person is more kind of like allowing. So for me, I had to train myself to allow my men to open the door for me, even though I can. And how, if they offer to, like my husband always opens the door for me. He will run to open the door for me because for him, he takes pride of it. It's like, I'm your man. I'm going to open the door for you. He see me with the groceries. In the past, I would be like, no, I'm lifting weights. I can carry my own groceries. That's okay. I was like, and now I'm like, oh, I catch myself. Oh, thanks, babe. That's really helpful. I can totally change that light bulb. I lived by myself for years. But no, I'm like, honey, can you help me? Or, because he feels wanted, he feels needed, he feels like he can be my protector. And it's not about, if somebody, eventually you want to maybe split the bill and whatever you need to do to make this work. But especially in the first few times, allow him to show that he cares for you. Psychologically, the more people do for you, the more they care for you. Just the way it is.
Okay.
So allow him to take care of you. Allow yourself to be taken care of.
Yeah. I'll work on that. I've got a question from Simone. I know this is something that she deals with a lot. How do you start to feel fully confident in your own skin and not compare yourself to others?
Confidence is a matter of choice.
Okay.
First, you want to, so I did a whole podcast. Actually, it's this week's podcast. It was released today. It's about how to be more confident. So
excellent.
You can go to stellarlifepodcast.com and there's an hour of how to be more confident.
There we go.
That's this week's episode. So I talk for an hour about confidence, how I built my own confidence. For example, for me, English is my second language. So just doing my podcast was really scary. So the first step is deciding, and then You want to do anything to get out of your comfort zone and do the things that are scaring you, and do the things that other people will never do. That this is what get you closer into being a leader and into feeling more confident. When you do things that are surprising to you, you did the fire walk, right?
I didn't. I've just been to Date with Destiny, not
Oh my
unless
God, you
I've
haven't?
been.
Okay, so when
We're
I
talking
did the
about Tony
fire
Robbins
walk.
events, guys, in case anyone has no idea. Yeah.
Okay, so the fire, I walked on fire, I walked on glass, I broke boards, I did all kinds of things to increase my confidence. But every time you take a step in that direction of doing something that is outside of your comfort zone, even if it's something small like flirting with a guy and getting a good response, that will increase your confidence. But there is a whole episode about it.
Yeah. No, I definitely think leaning into the things that you're afraid of, and I know for a fact that Simone is doing that. So that's awesome. Just
Go
kind of,
Simone.
yeah, what is it that you're doing and leaning into it. Also, I mean, the whole point with uplifting content and stuff like that, and the type of energy stuff that Donnie Epstein talks about, it's raising your energy, your emotional state, your energetic state. And for me, I find that I'm more confident. I can go out and do things when I'm at this higher vibrational state. So what are the things that elevate you, that raise your sense of well-being? And so now I've just started like daily running every day, just to get myself out and get myself breathless every day, and doing yoga, practicing and meditating, and then being around friends and getting out in nature and doing these things. And when I feel better just in general, then I have more confidence to do the things that I want to do. So there's so many different aspects to it, but yeah, I think the main thing is just edging yourself towards those things, leaning in, as Sheryl Sandberg would say.
And you can also imagine, so when we're in a taking energy, when we're insecure, when we're needy, it's almost like our energy is underneath our skin. It's here and
Mm-hmm.
people feel it. When we're neutral, you can imagine your energy at skin level. And when you're in given energy, it's almost like your energy is 2 inches or a few more inches in, around you in your energy field. So intentionally, if you can just imagine that your energy field is expanding beyond you, and it's not about you, it's about the other person. Because when you take yourself out of your own mind and your own thoughts and you focus into the other person and their needs, then there is no confidence issues. There is no you, because you're focusing on the other person and you're focusing on how you can serve them. So you can practice expanding your energy field, and just by thinking about it, you can expand it. And this is also another way to connect to your femininity. Mindfulness, feeling all the sensations in your body in the moment, is a very good practice. You want to feel how your body feels. You want to feel your energy feel. Is it here or is it here? Are you going into self-doubt and neediness and insecurity, or you just work and practice? And it's a matter of practicing how to increase your energy field into going into service, going into the other person. My actually my husband taught me that. He just came back from a weekend seminar, and he actually did that, and it was like he explained it and he did that, and all of a sudden I felt like he was so much more attractive. I was like, yeah, I really felt it. I'm like so attracted to you right now, because we enjoy that giving energy. When somebody comes to take from us, or somebody's really needy, we don't want to, we kind of take a step back. It happens non-verbally, because people can say a lot of things, but 93% of our communication is non-verbal. um, so if you're in a business meeting and you come to talk to your manager, and you feel like, oh, I really need to get that promotion, I really need this, I need this. Or you're on a date, I need you to love me, I need you to accept me, I need you to tell me that I'm loved, I need you to see how amazing I am.
Mm-hmm.
That will create a lack of self-confidence, and it will create a disconnect. But if you're just coming as you are, and you get outside of yourself, and you're like, how can I be in a given energy? How can I just be basking in my own beauty, and but also be a better listener and a better giver, and be there fully present with the other person. Yeah, that helps a lot with increasing confidence, and you can see that people will react to you differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably know that.
Yeah, I definitely feel like, yeah, as soon as you sort of take it off yourself, take things off the, yeah, whatever's going on in for you and make it about other people, I do immediately feel better. It kind of puts a lot of things in perspective. It just shifts the focus away from your own insecurities, doubts, fears, whatever, and just how can I serve? How can I help? How can I give to other people? It's a much better use of time and energy, I think.
Yeah.
So just reading some more of these comments, we've got some good ones.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, were you saying something, love?
Oh no, I was just saying it's about the beingness. More than the
Beingness.
action, it's about the way you are being in the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Ben says, I like that you refer to it as your goddess inside. I feel like we as men need to respect that part of a woman, but also understand how strong women are, as we need to accept it. The most powerful things in this world are also the most beautiful and serene, which is leaps and bounds the opposite of masculine. Only you're a powerful presence, and I can't even begin to imagine what you're like when you find your internal goddess. Thank you, Ben. Ben, there's some incredibly wise people on the call. They're all here chatting now, which is fantastic. And so they say really profound, deep moving things like that.
I know, I get goosebumps. Wow,
I know,
that's
yeah,
so
and
beautiful.
yeah, and
Can you
again,
get
like,
goosebumps
thanks.
under your hair? Because I just did.
I don't get them under my hair. I normally get them on my arms, but but no, I'm definitely hearing that a lot, and about connecting to my, feminine, and I'm definitely working on that. Cookie says, great point. Not sure what that was because it was a little while back. Hani says, this is interesting. Last night I had a fight with a guy that lives upstairs in my house, and I live in the basement with my 2 other roommates. And like every other powerful man, he tried to raise his voice with so much anger. He did it exactly like this before, and I stood quiet and got scared. But this time I realized that I had to stand up for myself. And nobody else were there. My roommates stood quiet, and they didn't even ask me to stop crying, didn't give me listening ear, nothing, even when I was there. Okay, I think this is how I was all, okay, so I think she got very upset and her roommates were not there to help. This is I'm so sorry, honey, but this is very, very difficult to understand, so I can't. Okay, so then basically I think she's saying that her roommates were not there to support. And then she's saying, sadly, women are sometimes a worse destroyer to other women than men. I guess that's because, honey, you were feeling like you weren't supported in that situation. It's quite difficult to comment on this because it's hard to really understand what you're saying with that. But yeah, that sounds like a little bit of a stressful situation. I would suggest having a chat with your roommates if they were feeling, and if you're in a situation where you're living with a man that is threatening and scary, then I think you need to report that because you shouldn't be having to deal with that in your home situation.
Is that her roommate or the man upstairs?
I think she's upset by her roommates. It's quite difficult to understand the comment.
If it's about somebody that doesn't live with her and is, of course, like you said, if it's an immediate, it's a physical threat. I mean, go call the police and you make sure that you are protected. This is very important. But if this is not, if it's just an insult or something that is painful, I can tell you a story that I had a neighbor, an upstairs neighbor, and he would blast heavy metal music, and he would bang in the middle of the night. He would take his whole bed and bang it. It was like, it's really crazy. We didn't sleep for weeks. We called the police. He would scream at the police. It was very crazy. And then one night, I was like, okay, he's gonna make a loud noise at 3 a.m. I'm gonna go to sleep at 9, and at least I'm gonna get a good night's sleep. I'll wake up at 3, whatever. But before I went to sleep, I kind of like imagined him, and I sent him a lot of light and love. I forgave him, but I sent him a lot of love. So energetically, instead of sending that like I hate you energy,
Frustration. Yeah.
frustration, I send him love. And then I saw him as a little hurt child, and I send him even more love. And that night I slept from 9 p.m. till 7 a.m. Like there was no music, there was no music, there was no loud noise, there was nothing. And then my husband did the same thing, and now like it doesn't bother us at all. Um,
Mm.
um, so I know this is like taking it a little, like this is the next step, a little deeper, a little more into like the woo-woo energetic. Um, but everything around you is pretty much energetic. Your heart beats without you even thinking about it. What energy does that? You think about somebody and they call you. What energy does that? We are all interconnected. Um, so maybe try to forgive that person and send them love, and also forgive your roommates and send them love. And then you don't have to like come and tell them that. Just do this energetic thing inside you, and you'll see that relationships can shift.
Right.
And in any case, you want to make sure that you're not putting yourself in a situation when you are where you are surrounded by people that are not supportive, because you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. So make yourself, if this is getting too much, get yourself out of a toxic environment and put
Mm-hmm.
yourself in a healthy environment. And this is your responsibility. It's your responsibility to react the way you react. It's your responsibility to maybe forgive and change that energetic contract. And it's your responsibility to take yourself out of a toxic place, because nobody's going to take care of you as much as you do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she says, I'm learning to be bold enough and also be enough for myself. So
Mm-hmm.
that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Orion, thank you very much. Where can people find
No,
out more
I
about
want to
you?
talk with you
Oh
more.
yeah, well,
I
I'm gonna
feel like
be
there is
speaking
so much more to
I'm
do.
gonna be speaking on your podcast in a
I
couple
know, I'm excited.
too, so that will be really fun. I've put the link to the Stellar Life podcast in the comments, and we'll write that up there.
Right.
But
And
where
they
can
can
people
they can
find
also yeah, sorry. They can also find me on orionsmethod.com. And they can download an infographic about how to become a love magnet. And that covers a lot of things we didn't cover here. So Orion's Method, ORIONS method.com.
Got it. I've just put that there. Well, this has been a pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I'll be back on Thursday to have a nice little chat with you all, just the one-on-one. So whatever you want to share and talk about, we can chat about it. And yeah, you can check out Orion's podcast. The one about confidence was today, so that would be great for Simone. And I will be joining her in a couple of weeks.
Right.
So thank you, guys. Take care. Have a great rest of your week.
Thank
Bye.
you so much, Ione.
My pleasure. I will speak to you soon, my love.